Hi, I'm Anton. I've been a saxophonist since I would say 1974, which is when I started playing, and unfortunately about a few years back, 4 years ago, during COVID, I got sick, and at a certain point I had to put the horn down because my body wouldn't let me do it anymore. It was the resistance of the horn would cause too many effects, and I actually even sold my horn. I had a beautiful Mark VI alto that I sold, and when this gentleman Gerson found out about it, so if you don't know who he is, he's one of the greatest saxophone players alive, and he's visiting the U.S. From Sao Paulo, Brazil. He's up here to do some gigs and clinics. I hope you check him out. But he heard about it and got his friend Ivan Mer, am I pronouncing his name correctly? Ivan Mer? Without even telling me, made this beautiful mouthpiece. And I've played a lot of mouthpieces. I've probably played every mouthpiece you can imagine. But this mouthpiece is special. I only played it for the first time about a half hour ago. And on not even my instrument, this is Gerson's horn, which I've never played before. And I can tell you that I'm literally using the same amount of air and the same force of air, the same velocity of air that I would be using on a flute. And it doesn't make sense to me because I've never seen a mouthpiece work that way, even on a very soft reed. These reeds are also Ivan's reeds, they're his creations, and I really suggest if anyone's skeptical about synthetics, which I certainly was, you really need to check these out because they're not just like something you use if you can't get a caned reed. It blows away. I mean, I have caned reeds in my case here, and it blows every one away. Because they're not just made out of from a factory. They're hand designed to have just the right amount of overtones and response. And what's more, it's made for this mouthpiece. You can tell the way it works. I mean, I just picked it up. I should tell you, I have no embouchure left. I have nothing. I have not played the horn for 2.5 years. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to put on the middle resistance reed here, and let's see. Just take a guess with the intonation here. Done anything like that in a long time. As a flute player, I feel like I'm really loud. First of all, I was like, am I used to putting out that amount of sound? But I really didn't do anything. I mean, just for comparison, I didn't really do anything physically any more than when I'm just blowing across the flute. I remember as a saxophonist, as a doubler, if I would go from playing the saxophone at that volume to just picking up the flute, there'd be a feeling of having to hold back. That I would be, if that makes sense, like I'd be overblowing the flute if I used the same amount of air. You know, if I blew the saxophone hard and I blew the flute, it's just as hard. Nothing would work, right? Yeah, for those of you who play both instruments know that, but I really was using about the same level. It's really very, and I could demonstrate all these reeds, but they all play beautifully in their own way. He's labeled them with different numbers, and you can get half strengths. It looks like it looks like Yvonne will kind of custom make these,
yes.
Right? I have never played one of his mouthpieces before. I can tell you though, but I can tell you I've played, like I said, so many mouthpieces. He must be some kind of a genius because I know how hard it is to create that kind of evenness from top to bottom. Again, I have no chops, so forgive my playing, but I'll try to play from the top to the bottom of the horn. And altissimo, I have no idea. I can't even remember the fingerings. We'll see what happens. I don't think I've ever been able to play, even when I did have chops, there was no way I was going to play altissimo with a 1.5 reed. That was never going to be possible for me, you know. So I don't know how that happened. I have no idea how I'm doing that. So I really, you know, for anyone seeing this, I don't know what to say. Have you ever had any issues with health issues, lung issues, breathing issues, just general strength? I suggest you check this out. Don't hurt yourself on playing a setup with a lot of resistance, thinking that's the only way you're going to get a beautiful sound on the saxophone, because I'm finding out that that's not necessary, that's not required, you know, I think I'm ready to kind of restart my saxophone journey, thanks to what Yvonne has cooked up here. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll put the link in the video showing where people
put the link for the
can find
Mouthpiece,
Yvonne's website.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put the link.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, please check them out.
It's a personal. We've made a personal mouthpiece.
Yeah, I should mention that this is a variation on the. It's called the Gerson Galante signature mouthpiece, right? And you can hear his incredible playing. I hope you support the new album, which is astounding. And you'll hear him on essentially this mouthpiece. This is a setup for different resistance, but you'll hear him play it on this horn. So okay, so and you'll hear that he got, you know, you're still, it's not something that's going to give you you know, somebody else's sound. You'll hear I had my sound, I was able to get my sound, and we don't sound the same at all. You're going to get your own sound on this mouthpiece. It's open enough for you to create your own. It doesn't boss you around. So. Right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Oh.